Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 140, written by Christoph Victorson. Money and Time, a repeating numerical sequence of the Sublime. I've had maybe 24 encounters over the past 25 years that I'm at a total loss to explain, but this post isn't about those. It's about the number 1111 that seems to keep appearing around the same time I have an encounter, before and after, usually for several days up to about a week. Realistically, how many times can you expect to see the number 1111 in a day? Maybe twice if you check the time often. But I seem to have days or weeks when the number is everywhere. I could see it maybe 10 times or more in a day. Some recent examples are twice a day on a clock, obviously. I buy some things at a store and the total is £11.11, or maybe my change is £11.11. I ask someone's number and 1111 is in there. I put a stopwatch on to time the exercises and I stop it by chance on 11 minutes 11 seconds. I hang up a call and realize it lasted 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Some of the events are quite improbable. Today my computer screen froze at 11:11 and the time was stuck there for a few minutes until I gave up and rebooted. The other day a dude in the street asked me for the time and it was 11:11. I must have looked like a psycho because I pulled my phone out, saw the time, and just walked off without answering him. I mean, who even asks strangers for the time anymore? It's been years since I was last asked. In the past, the number has always coincided with me seeing or hearing something that I can't explain. And since over the last few days, 1111 is popping up everywhere. Again, I imagine it's just a matter of time. Maybe I'll post once more if something else happens. Does anyone else see 1111 or any other sequence of numbers all the time? Any theories on what it means? Up until the last few days, I hadn't seen 1111 more frequently than any other sequence of numbers for 5 or so years. And then suddenly they're everywhere. Case notes, file number 140. I have seen my share of the number 1111, mostly while looking at the time. Some might say it's synchronicity, and others might attribute it to the mind, powerful as it is, attuned to a specific focus, and then detecting only that sequence. For instance, you never notice how many people have silver Hondas until you think about it once, and then they seem to be everywhere. Actually, the fact someone asks you for the time is one of the most notable elements here. I think you're sort of a beacon, almost like a lightning rod drawing in energy from areas and people. I bet the person who asked you for the time gave off a powerful vibe, didn't he? It wouldn't surprise me. Case file number 141, written by Hascalod. Is the future written in stone? Rest assured for her, it is known. I'll preface this, as many here have, by clarifying that I am by no means a spiritual person, and having said that, I have no way to describe what happened to us. Back in 2019, my girlfriend experienced a memory of a situation that had not happened yet. We were both in my bedroom, in my house, and she was on the sofa trying to recall about a funny remark I had made to her. She says that she was reading something funny to me a few days prior, to which I replied with a funny remark, and she was telling me this because she couldn't quite make out what I had said. I was confused because I had no recollection of that conversation. We dwelled on it for quite some time, while she tried to remind me that I was by the bathroom door while she was laying down on the bed, but I had nothing. She eventually shrugged it off and forgot about it. Fast forward to a couple days after, I had just showered and I was drying myself off by the bathroom door frame, which is inside my bedroom. She is laying on my bed, reading something funny on her cell phone, right in front of me. She starts reading it back to me with an excited look. As she is reading it, her excitement seems to slowly fade away. I take my cue, and I start to make a funny remark about that story, but I stopped halfway. I ask her, "What's wrong?" She is pale, wide-eyed looking at the phone screen. When it suddenly clicked, she looks back to me, jumps out of bed, and finishes a sentence I had just started. She knew exactly what I was going to say. It was exactly the memory she had 2 days prior. We spent a few good hours after the incident freaking out, trying to wrap our heads around what had just happened. There's no possible explanation, no déjà vu. She literally described that event days before it happened. I remember her mentioning specific sections of that story the day before. It wasn't a coincidence, a text that she read again by mistake, nor could it be me unconsciously playing a prank on her. It was really a memory of the future. Update. She came over last night. She confirmed some things. The text she read was from a tattoo on a photo, on Instagram or Facebook most likely. She distinctly remembered bits of the text on the moment of the memory, as well as a certain movement I did, followed by something I said. However, at the moment she actually read the text back to me, she definitely had never seen the tattoo before. And then she felt a weird sensation, as if the memory was rebuilding itself. When she looked at me, she said it felt like her memory and her sight sort of converged into a single moment. That's when I asked her if she was okay. Then she got out of bed. She repeated what I had just said before asking, and completed with a punchline, but the remark had no impact at all. She said she had never felt so afraid before because the feeling was too strange to even describe. I'm obviously very skeptical myself, so I confronted her about it, asking if it was possible that she just saw the same image twice, if it could have been just a coincidence, or if she actually just had a very strong déjà vu at the moment and the memory wasn't actually related. She denied all of it and said that she was sure of the text when it first came to her mind, and she knew exactly what I was going to do and say. Her family has a history of dealing with supernatural stuff, and she has quite some memories about talking to angels with her aunts when she was young. She has also been told once, totally out of the blue, by a friend's mother that she had mediunic powers. The friend's mother was a medium as well. We might after all just be in a Jeremy Boremy. Case notes, file number 141. You know, honestly, I'm a little envious. This is basically a superpower. It's truly a miraculous ability, although also understandable to be genuinely unsettled by it. It's so simple yet extraordinary, you doubt your sanity, even collectively between both of you, yeah? My gut tells me that this will be triggered for her again in some way. She'll have visions again, and you'll both be stunned as how is this happening? How is this even possible? Well, I think the information is there, it's just that some people are able to interpret it, and then they get these visions of the future. But one important note is, that future isn't certain. There's always variables, so just by seeing it, you change it. Or you can. It may still come to pass, you may still not believe the vision and act as you normally would have. Nothing major changes and the vision still comes to pass. And the other factor to that is, the further away the vision is, the more uncertainty there is. So if you're seeing something in a year later, the odds are it's not going to come to pass, nowhere near like the vision. There are too many variables that will change. Like, if you get enough dominoes in a certain path and you change even one or two, well, it's not going to go in the same place. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and leave any thoughts you might have down below. I always like knowing what you guys think too.